If you've heard about Venus retrograde or you have Venus retrograde in your birth chart, but you're not really sure what it means and how to make it work for you instead of against, then keep on watching because I'm here to help you out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm 𝗬𝗘𝗧, your coach and your guide through the stars, and today we're talking about Venus, more specifically Venus in retrograde. What did I just say? Retrograde. First of all, the planets don't move in perfect circles around the sun, and because of that, from planet Earth, from our perspective, it can sometimes look like the planets are slowing down, stopping, and moving backwards for a bit before they're moving forwards again. And it's this perceived motion of the planet moving backwards that we call in retrograde motion. And this optical illusion is created because planet Earth is overtaking the specific planet we call in retrograde. And an easy way to think about this is if you think about two cars on a highway and one car is overtaking the other. And when you look out of the window of the car that's faster and you look at the overtaken car, it looks like it's moving backwards when actually it's still moving forwards. And that's the exact same thing that happens with the planets. It looks like it's moving backwards, but actually planet Earth simply overtook that planet and it's still moving forwards. When this happens, the planet that is moving in retrograde, the energy of that planet is kind of dampened, which means that it affects the areas in your life that are ruled by that planet. And in the case of Venus, which moves retrograde for about a 6-week period every 18 months or so, in that case, when Venus is retrograde, the areas that are affected in your life are who you love, the people you love in romantic and in personal relationships, what attracts you, both physically and emotionally, how you like to be wooed, what your romantic style is, your aesthetic and your beauty style, money is affected, your values, you start to think about your values more, your fashion style, art, food, and decorating tastes, what you take pleasure in, what you enjoy, and what you like to indulge in. These are all the areas that are affected when Venus goes into retrograde. During a Venus retrograde, you may second guess things around those topics. And so it's a great time to go deep, to go inwards, to reflect on things like who you love, your current relationships, what your aesthetic, your fashion, your interior decorating style is. Even your food taste may be put to the test. And that's amazing. This is such a great time to reassess and reflect. However, keep in mind that this is not a great time to make any permanent changes, like getting a haircut, coloring your hair, getting a tattoo, breaking up with a friendship or a romantic partner, or even spending a lot of money in redecorating your house, because your change of heart or taste may just be temporary. So feel all your feelings, journal it out, make all the Pinterest boards, and then sit with it until Venus is back to normal to see if you still feel that way. And also keep in mind that retrogrades are a time when things are being brought back from the past related to the themes of that planet. And when Venus is retrograde, we also yearn for attention more. So Venus being around, the themes being around love and relationships, it's very common for relationships from the past to come back into your life during this period. So again, be very mindful of any decisions you make during this time that have a longer impact on your life. Before we move on to other things to be careful with during a Venus retrograde, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content on human design, astrology, and manifestation. Another thing that I suggest during Venus retrogrades is to put off any big financial moves. Look, if you've been thinking about something since before Venus went retrograde, trust yourself, trust your body, especially if that is something you're familiar and comfortable with doing. But if this is a new idea that involves money and it came through during Venus retrograde, I'd be extra mindful, as this might not be the best time to act on it. So if you can let that simmer until after the retrograde, I'd highly suggest you do that. And this is also not a great time to set your prices for your offers if you're a business owner, because being able to see the value of things, being able to see your own value and worth, it's a little wonky at this time. And it's funny because one of my mentors said that because of that, this is also a great time to go and do things like antique shopping, because you'll probably find a lot of great bargains at really great prices. And Venus retrograde is also a great time to reassess your values and your connection to self, your self-love, as this is such a great way to strengthen any of your long-term relationships now and in the future. Now, what if Venus was retrograde during the time that you were born? And just realized I'm holding the remote. This is a great section for you to watch, even if Venus wasn't retrograde during your time of birth, but you want to know more of what you could expect to come up for you during your short retrograde experience every 18 months or so. You can tell that Venus was in retrograde during your time of birth if you see this next to it on your chart. And if that is the case for you, then the themes that we've talked about are themes to pay closer attention to on a consistent basis. And in fact, there are a couple of points that I'd specifically love for you to be aware of. The first one being the tendency to not feel good enough or worthy of love, both from yourself and from other people. And this can manifest itself through self-sabotaging behavior in your relationships, through overcompensating and overly trying to please other people, through dating all the time to get that extra dose of affection in your life, or on the flip side, by withholding yourself from love altogether, telling yourself you don't need love. However this expresses itself in your reality, in your relationships, what I would love for you to focus on in this lifetime is to cultivate and build a deeper sense of self-love. Instead of seeking validation, admiration, appreciation, recognition from other people, so that the love and the affection that you crave and deserve will come from yourself first and from others second. This will set an incredible foundations for really great relationships for you in your life. From this place of self-love, also look at how you're expressing your love towards others. As with your natal Venus or your birth chart Venus in retrograde, the way that you express your values and your affection towards others may seem hidden, meaning that you may feel like you're fully expressing your affection towards others, yet they might not really feel or see it as much. So reflect on that and communicate with others to see how you may potentially change your expression of your affection in a way that feels really good for you to do and for others to receive. The third part to be aware of if Venus was in retrograde during the time of your birth is that your financial life may be hidden as well, meaning that there's likely something about your finances that you don't want other people to see, or that you don't like talking about, or that is taboo in some way. And this could mean hiding a stash of cash somewhere, having a hidden bank account that your partner doesn't know about, maybe gambling is something you do on the down low, or maybe you're a shopaholic of some form. Whatever it is, it's something to bring to the forefront, to become aware of if you weren't already, and to assess, is this something that is supporting you, or is this something to deal with now that you're aware of it and now that you know where it comes from? Another part to be aware of, and that is connected to your financial life and to the feeling of not being good enough, is not charging enough for your services, not asking for a raise at your job, not even going after high-paying jobs, or having receiving issues in general when it comes to money. Not feeling worthy of money, not charging enough is something that comes up a lot for Venus retrograde souls. And I would love for you to take this opportunity and this awareness to dive deeper into money mindset work, so you can assess what your current relationship is with money, so you can cultivate a better one, so you can attract and receive more from a place of joyful confidence. And if that is something you want my support with, then check the description below to see how we can work together. All in all, retrogrades are nothing to fear, and they simply provide us with an opportunity to clear things out so that we can move forward with even more clarity and confidence and alignment. So thank you for watching. If this was helpful, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.